right, start
Okay,
it.
so I think Italian food personally is the best cuisine in the world, and that's because like they have noodles, they like have lasagna, and they just have like some of the best stuff. You like you ever, like you ever been to Olive Garden?
Yeah.
It's a
Yeah.
little overrated.
It's
Oh.
okay.
Over it? Okay. What do you think is the best cuisine in the world then?
Oh no, continue with what you're saying.
I mean, because personally, they have a lot of variety. Like, with all the, because it's not just noodles, it's sandwiches, it's, you know what, it is mostly noodles,
Pastas.
but no, yeah, it just has a lot of variety with pastas even then. You know, I think that there's like, compared to any other cuisine, there isn't another type of cuisine that has more variety with noodles than Italian food does.
Look, so let me tell you a little bit of something. I'll give Italian food pizza too, but that's not even that good compared to burritos. Man, when I talk about wet burrito, I get hungry immediately. Specifically wet burritos. Like I can't stop talking about them. Every time we talk about food, we talk about wet burritos when I'm around. Those things, better whatever noodles, spaghetti, pizza, pie, whatever they got in Italy, don't care. Nothing more fancier, more tastier, and really more enjoyable than a wet burrito.
Explain to me.
Let's take a deep dive into why I think the wet burrito is so good. Starting off with what do you need to set up to eat the wet burrito? Since a wet burrito is not a to-go item, when you're gonna sit to eat a wet burrito, you're gonna sit there and enjoy the burrito because it's filled with salsa, a sauce, right?
This is what we
Covered
do
in
for
sauce.
our class. We're supposed to talk like
All
this.
right.
Yeah.
It's filled with sauce and everything there. Well, it could get really messy. So you gotta take your time and enjoy it. And then what's inside the burrito? Mexican classics, like the beans, rice, and meat. Depending where you go, the meat can vary, but very consistent options you get is chicken, beef, or pork.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just kind of laughing at the fact that Italian food also has that kind of variety in meats.
Well, explain. Where? I don't know.
Like in ham, that's Spain, but even then, that's still in Europe. They have variety when it comes to jamon. They also have access to oh no, especially in cheese. They have a lot of cheeses there that they incorporate in a lot of dishes. Like that a lot of times it's kind of more like beef, but it's really the cheese that gives the flavor there from what I've eaten. It's almost like the meat isn't even needed to what they make. Like yeah, it's good, but it's a lot of the time because of how great they make their cheese. That's almost not a necessity. And in that case, that's why I think it's comes better than something like burritos, Mexican food, because they would need a lot more attention to like salsa, meat, and everything else to actually make it good. But Italian food it's simple ingredients a lot of the time. It doesn't need much to make it a really, really good dish.
See, what do you mean by simple? Because to me, a wet burrito is relatively simple in my culture. So maybe an Italian dish could also be simple, but when an Italian sees that wet burrito, they're like, oh, that's not simple. I don't know how to do that. So simple can be very arbitrary. The wet burrito is pretty simple. It's just a sauce, tortilla, meat, rice, and beans.
See, when you put it like that, it's really not so simple. You have to go through a whole process of making the beans, making the rice, and then everything else. But with Italians, you only have to like really make the noodles from scratch and then make the sauce.
Oh, how do you make the noodles from scratch? How long is the process to make it?
Not
You
that
see-
long actually.
Really, because you have to get every line, every strip correctly to the way you want it. Do you know how to shape the noodle? Shaping the noodle is also very important to get that consistent shape throughout every noodle. Tortillas, you just make the circle as big as you want. Get the flour, get the dough.
But you spend that entire time just putting your entire focus on the noodles. So that in that way, that's why noodles come out so good because your entire focus is just on that mostly.
Whoa, Italian, are you sure about that? There's no other aspects to the Italian food. It's just the plain noodle. You have to be more specific. Like, what's a common dish? I know more common dishes for Mexican food.
I mean, you
Yes.
could argue that in pastas that have meats in that, that you have to go through the process of cooking meat along with the noodles, and then some Italian pastas have seasoning in it. If you
No.
want to add Parmesan to that,
You should
then
defend.
you can make it like more complicated.
No, yeah, I mean there isn't. It's not like there isn't meat in Italian food.
Yeah.
There's just they're just focused on noodles is just so specific, but more onto meat. It's when it comes to meat, they have.
Sorry.
It's alright. Their focus on meat is
Bro. Sorry.
more
Well, why you You know
is more
what?
on the fact that they're seasoned well. I
Oh.
think, and when it comes to Mexican food, I'm not saying that they're not seasoned well. I'm saying that they need a lot more to actually make the combination taste well, which is not an issue, but it's a lot. But it is more effort
Mm.
with.
Your argument is that it takes more effort
Wait,
to
wait,
make
wait,
Mexican
pause.
dishes more
Pause.
delicious than it does Italian food.
Yeah,
Right. I
Which
see.
is part of why it makes it better. Well, why do you think Italian food is better?
I'm honestly more on Team Mexican food. I love them both, but I'm probably gonna say Team Mexican food.
Team Mexican.
If I had to choose, love them both. If I had to choose, I'd pick Mexican
Mm.
food.
Come on.
yeah.
Come on, get deep with it.
So yes, Italian food, they have a pretty good variety. Like you said, pastas, sandwiches, pizza, calzones. Probably more that I can't name.
Yeah.
But on the other hand, I feel like I'm more familiar with Mexican culture food, and I feel like we have so much more to offer, which is very debatable. Like, obviously, we have the classics, you know, rice, beans, and then you got our meats, asada, carnitas. Then we also have soups like pozole, menudo, taquitos, tamales,
Caldo.
huevos
Huevos.
rancheros. What else am I missing?
Well, different types of huevos, you know. Like, we can mix huevos with anything, really. Scrambled eggs can go with anything in our culture. But,
And that's another thing about Mexican food. We do a lot of variety. There's breakfast Mexican food, there's lunch, dinner, mariscos, a lot of that. I feel like Italian food, it's really like only dinner. Like, we're getting Italian food. Like, I can't think of an Italian breakfast. Changed my
Mm.
mind.
An Italian breakfast would more come from the idea that of the sausage. You know, you have sausage in your breakfast before, right? That's also where the idea comes from. It's not made with the same ingredients that it is in America, of course. Though it's more similar, that's kind of where I think it came from. That's where I also think it has more variety because in Italian food, as you can see, like they don't just add noodles everywhere. It's kind of like they add whatever too. That they have like a lot of times there's cheese, but then a lot of times they're focused on other sauces, and meat is very clear in a lot of their dishes, which is how their breakfast comes out too. And I think in that way it also has a lot of variety too, because every culture has its kinds of breakfast, lunches, and dinner. I mean, for some people, that doesn't look like breakfast. but it is breakfast to that culture.
Mm-hmm.
So really, from your perspective, when something seems like breakfast to the Italian culture, like no, that is breakfast, and to you it looks like dinner, but no, to them it is breakfast.
Can you, sorry to interrupt you, can you give me different examples of an Italian breakfast?
So, I mean, like I already talked about sausage. I mean, a lot of Italian breakfast incorporates more like vegetables too. They incorporate a lot of vegetables. It's kind of light a lot of the time.
Gotcha.
And vegetables and bread, more like it's not. And yeah, there's cheese too.
Kind of like a Slavic style meal, a little bit. It's just kind of
I guess so.
vegetables and like simple stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I guess so. They're not very heavy on breakfast.
Gotcha.
Yeah. But let me talk back about, even though I guess my perspective of Italian breakfast doesn't fit my breakfast, I think you should still be able to be versatile and be able to hit other groups, other ethnicities to be the best.
Mm-hmm.
Like for example, Mexican breakfasts are so diverse and so different that it can probably find a home in other cultures and other ethnicities. For example, eggs, the way you prepare eggs is like, it can be very different from one meal to another. For example, how you said like Italians include a lot of vegetables and fruits. I mean, not fruits, but
And sauce.
and sauces. We always have our own sauce. We just call it salsa. And we also include like tomatoes, lettuce, what's the other one? Onions, and other veggies within the egg sometimes. For example, my grandpa, he puts tomatoes, like everything that I just listed right now, with like a jalapeno on it.
Mm-hmm.
He makes it in the bowl, like does all that, and then put it on the thing, and then it's done. Have our veggie huevos ready to eat for breakfast. And now the way that they set up the huevos, it can also be added with other ingredients. Let's say sausage. You can have the huevos just on the side, and then the sausage on this side.
Yep.
Boom. It can be a mix of Mexican and Italian.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry.
And that's all I got. What about you and me? Anything to add?
Bottom line, I think my argument is that Italian food is not the best food, and if I had to choose, maybe it's just a little bit being biased with my culture. I think that anybody who is Mexican or Italian are gonna say, well, oh, Mexican food is the best, Italian food is the best. It's just what hits closer to home. So, given my background, given me being a child and eating rice and beans like every single day and whatnot, I personally think that if I had to only pick one genre of food forever, it would be Mexican. I would have so much variety, so much flavor, so much just comfort food, maybe for myself. So I would be against the Italian food side. Like I said before, love it, but Mexicans gotta win for it's life or death.
You know, I was about to call you out. Like, stop trying to take the high ground. You gotta choose. But I forgot the argument was that Italian was the best food, and it's not. As we both said, we agree that our cultural food, our soul food is better than Italian. So it is just not better. Mexican food is superior. And that's what we do. We want to try changing our minds.
So I mean, I would think that Italian food is better and is the best. Well, mostly because it's one of the more refined, you would say, cultures and dishes, well, probably in the world too. It's more, of course, it's I guess in some of the places it's seen as fancy, but it's also because a lot of people praise it for a lot of dishes, a lot of Italian dishes for their simplicity, like I said. And with Mexican food, not a lot of people can agree with it because a lot of dishes, like, they're meant to be spicy, of course, and that's not the point with all of them, of course. But a lot of them do include a lot of spice, right? And
Well, in some cultures, spice is like one of the main things, but a lot of Mexicans don't even eat spicy food. Now, there's a good chunk. I think it's more like a 50-50 split.
Good at 15.
But we're at 15. That's good.
yeah.